What's it doing? Yeah, it's on its here. Oh, Tina.
Alrighty. Kia ora koutou katoa. Yes, it is Pink Shirt Day, the week for the celebration, along with the family joining us live here on Facebook. And we're all in our different spaces, but we're all here to communicate, but also celebrate Pink Shirt Day. Let's go. Pacifica, you better be out there tuning in right now. Let's go. I think I hear Julius. He's probably there.
Yeah, I'm over here. Kia ora, Tina, thanks for that. Yeah. Everybody that's watching on the live, I'm sure 2,000 people watching our live right now, make it 20,000 tune into our live about Pink Shirt Day, Anti-Bullying Day that's coming up tomorrow. We've got an awesome panel up here. I'm going to get them all to introduce themselves. I'll start with Taputu first. After Taputu, if we can go to Chloe, Alistair, Tina, and then end up with myself, and I'll be running our little session today. Okay, let's go.
Cheery.
Kia ora everyone, my name is Ko Taputu Kura Tōku Ingoa, and no ana au ki Pōneke.
Kia ora, ko Chloe Herman Tōku Ingoa, and I'm from Tokoro.
Kia ora tātou katoa. My name is Alice Takata from Tangata Pacifica, and I'm up here in Auckland.
Yee, kia ora, everyone. My name is Tina, hailing from Mangere. Let's go.
And kia ora ana koutou katoa te roa atu pako te tua. Julius Daniels here in Tokoro. I'm representing CDANS. I sit on the board, also representing our young people here in Tokoro as well. It's amazing to sit in a panel full of beautiful young women. I don't know where's all the boys at. It's all right, I represent us. Jay was on the live and then he left. So it's all right, I carry the flag for all the boys. But it's good to sit on a panel here with these beautiful women to talk about a very important issue here in our, here in New Zealand, Pink Shirt Day. And you know what, if I'm being completely honest, the only thing I associated with pink is the breast cancer. And I didn't really know much about Pink Shirt Day. But CDANS and all these other organizations done a lot of work to bring some awareness, raise some awareness, and I know that's what tomorrow is about, raising awareness about anti-bullying in the workplace, in schools, in settings. So, you know, we all know those conversations about bullying can happen right in your home, it can happen in your workplace, social settings, everywhere. So we're just here, Pacifica, Pink Shirt Day, just for us to talk about anything really. This is our conversation. I'm just a facilitator. I ask the questions, but you know, if we want to go on a waka somewhere else, let's go. So we've got 45 minutes because I know I've got some very important people sitting in this live. So let's get straight to it. I'll ask a question. Whoever wants to jump in and contribute or whatever, we'll go like that, okay? Everyone at home, listen up. Okay. And if I think this is live streaming on our CDANS page, eh? Does anybody know? This is live streaming, so I'm sure there's viewers there that are going to watch, they're going to answer. Send through your messages because Liz and Janet, they can send that feedback onto us and we can talk about some of that as well. So if you're tuned in, you know, send in your feedback. Okay, first question panel. And I'll ask, and whoever wants to jump in, you go ahead. If a person's experiencing bullying right now, what advice would you give them to safely raise what they are experiencing? And go.
Who wants to start?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll start. Sorry, I'll just jump in quickly. Firstly, yeah, it's such an honor, like you said, Julius, to be part of this panel. I think we need to talk more and more about this issue in our community, particularly. But, you know, if there are people out there who are in the situation of bullying, whether you are a young student at school or you're an adult in your workplace and you're experiencing it, firstly, I want to say sorry that you're going through this, but that you're not alone. I think people need to know that they are not alone and that there are people out there willing to help if they want to reach out. But I think firstly, communication is key. It's so key with this issue. You know, traditionally, Pacifica are not really good at putting up our hands and sort of saying what's wrong. We're not good at sort of sharing anything bad or negative that's going on in our lives. And I think we really need to improve that as a community. You know, and it's not in our nature too. We like to be respectful of our elders. We do what we're told, and you know, we don't want to talk back or answer back, and that's just in our nature. But I think in this particular situation, it's something that we do need to speak up about more. You know, this unfortunately sort of does play into bullying because, you know, we're less likely to report it for fear of being punished or being growled, or for fear of retribution from the person that's doing the bullying as well. So I think we need to start there. The communication needs to open up about this. But also we need to make it people who are going through this more comfortable to be able to speak up about it too. So I guess that's, you know, talking about support. But the other thing that's big with this is trust. Trust is a huge thing, especially for our young people. But even adults, you know, need to know that whoever they're sharing to or opening up to or talking to, that person is not going to spread rumors about them, or that person is not going to go and tell somebody, you know, in a higher position. So there's fear of you know, the things that you tell people in secret are going to be spread. So I think trust is a big thing too. But bottom line, if you are going through something like this, the situation of bullying, you need to speak out. You can't hold these experiences, and you need to find someone that you can trust and open up to and believe will give you the right advice and lead you into the right direction. That's my 5 cents anyway.
Thank you. Anybody else want to add on to that?
Yeah, I'll jump in. Just to add on to what the Sister Star was saying, I think it's just your environment as well, you know, the group of friends or family you're around. Like, speaking from experience, you know, I'm going to be real with our community, being bullied, or like, it's not just about how you're being seen. It can be words. Social media plays a huge part on that, whether it's a status, whether you're at an event, sports, or it's anything. And I think like if we come together, like having talanoa, korero, like talking like this, around your group of friends, having someone that you can trust, like just what the Star said, plays a huge part. So for me, it's just your group of friends or your environment. Make sure you have a space where you can just be you, because words do go real far and it does hurt you. So I have to say, having a group of people that can that you can lean on, you know, when you're just having one of those days that hits you. So a group of friends in your environment plays a huge part.
Cool.
I got something to add.
Yeah,
Yeah, just following on what both the sisters have been talking about, I think some other strategies is to, again, be brave, talk to someone that you trust and that will 100% back you. Another good thing to do is to write down how you're feeling. So later on, like sometimes in these situations we downplay it, but if you can read it again, things are actually happening that are really hard to deal with, and like just revisiting it and explain it to the other person that you trust. Because sometimes you think like, oh, am I crazy? Like, is this actually happening to me? And get reassurance that, sorry. And just, if you're like confronted with a bully, practice what you would say and how you would react in those situations as well. And if you could practice, then you'll be brave to stand up for yourself. That's all from me.
Cool. And you got anything to add there, Chloe?
Oh, I just totally agree with everyone what they said. I reckon just being able to tell someone about what if you're being bullied will help just take off a lot of pressure from you, because we do tend to like bottle it all up, or like, nah, that's just going to go away, or something like that. And also just being having someone that is you're comfortable around to talk to is also another help, just for people who are experiencing bullying, and that's probably like hard to come across. Having someone you can confide in. And changing your environments are also a really good advice.
Cool. There was some good, and I think just to wrap around all that's been said, it's just that communication, eh? That communication is key, whether that is with yourself, with other people, and just, you know, I like what Tapatu down in Wellington said about bottling things up and, you know, all of that, downplaying all of our issues. You know, a lot of the time, some of us think, oh no, it's not that important. So we downplay it like, oh no, that wasn't such a big deal. And we don't write it out or anything, so we don't follow anything of any of that stuff up. And then it comes and it happens again, and it just keeps happening and happening. So, you know, don't downplay it. Bullying is what bullying is. Call it out for what it is. That would be my best advice. And don't be afraid to confide in somebody that you trust, that you can say, hey, this is what's happening, you know, because it's better. I always say, I manage a staff of about 13 people. I always say to my staff, there's no good in your head. I can't read inside your head. I can't help you if you don't share those problems with me. Let it out, because when you bottle things up in your head, one day, poof, it'll explode. And so that's what we're trying to avoid here. So yeah, cool. Hey, you're all smart. You're a smart, beautiful, professional woman. Beautiful. Look at that, everybody at home. Look at all the smarties over here. There's one of their boys in the chat. It's only the girls who all got the brain. Where's the boys at? No, but I must be the only one of them. Just kidding. No. Okay. If you've experienced bullying in this question, you know, and if I'm being really honest, and I can be really honest in this, because this is what this is about. Sometimes we can be bullied, and sometimes we can be being bullied. So if, the question here that I've got is, as a person that's experienced bullying, what do you want teachers, parents, leaders, employers, and community to know? Experiencing bullying doesn't just mean it's happened to you, but it could also mean that you might have been the bully. I don't know. You know, that's all part of the bigger conversation that we need to have. So what is the advice we need to give to our teachers, to our community, to our leaders, that kind of stuff, about what do they need to know about bullying? Anybody?
Yeah, I'll just jump in. I know there's a lot of work being done in this kind of area already, especially with school teachers. But, you know, they need to keep in mind that not every child starts off on an even playing field, right? We all come from different backgrounds, different family situations. Most of our Pacific kids live in multi-generational houses. So whatever happens at school, they're going to take home. And so they have to be really aware that the way that our Pacific culture goes is everything that happens within us, we share with our family. It automatically affects our family, especially when we're being bullied. But they could also be having troubles at home. This could be for the bullier or the victim, the one who's being bullied. So I think teachers, I know there's a lot of work already being done about cultural appropriation and cultural awareness around different students and different backgrounds and stuff. But yeah, I think teachers just need to keep in mind that, you know, our households are not the same as Balangi households. Our households are not the same as, you know, any other ethnicity. We have a specific and very unique and beautiful culture that everything that happens to us, we share with our family. And so, or that it transfers to our family. And so I think, yeah, teachers just need to be aware of that. For parents, I mean, it always starts at home, doesn't it? Everything that we're ever taught, our values, our upbringing, it all starts at home. And so I think it's, again, you know, hate to sound like a broken record, but it is that open communication. And I know, you know, in our structure of our culture, it can be hard to speak to our elders sometimes and be honest. I mean, you know, let's be honest, probably all of us here as students didn't tell our parents everything. We went straight to our friends, straight to our peers, because they could understand us on that even playing field. And we didn't want to get hiding. We don't want to get in trouble. And so, you know, I know it's hard for our families to really open up those communication pathways, but that really needs to be happening more at home, I guess. And I know you guys will add on to this. And for our community leaders, I mean, I don't mean to get political, but, you know, we've got an election coming up. Our leaders, specifically our Pacific Island leaders, need to connect more with our young people. I've seen that a little bit in this election, but I don't really think that most of them know what's going on the ground and know what's going on in households, or know what's going on in schools, and what our young people think and what they like and what they listen to. And, you know, there's that disconnect between our community leaders and our youth specifically. So I think a lot of that sort of needs to start happening, but you guys will have more to add on.
Yeah, definitely. Anybody else? I've just got a couple. I'm just going to read a couple of questions because it all wraps up into what we're talking about. It's from our viewers at home. So they're watching and they're asking some questions. Guys, they're saying, when you say tell somebody, who can you suggest that we go to? The family just mock us. So are there Pacific agencies in your region, or are there other support groups in your region? So so all those that are watching the live, we've got someone from Honeke, which is down in Wellington. We've got a couple from Auckland and 2 from Tokoroa. So we can only talk about what's happening in our regions, and I think that's a good place to start. So if Taputu, if you can share if there's any other, you know, because it's not always, it's easy for us to say, talk to somebody you trust. And for a lot of these people that are going through these, through the bullying, a lot of them don't have a lot of people that they can trust or that they can share some of that stuff with. So is there any other external agencies or something like that? We'll start down in Wellington.
Is the line? Sorry. Might play. Does someone else want to answer the question while I catch up?
Yeah. Anything up in Auckland, Tina and Stars? Do any other people that?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Tina. Sorry. Did you want to go, Tina? You go.
Yes, that's okay. You can. I'll just to add on to what the brother Julius has said. Like, I totally agree. We have different youth spaces. Like, to be completely honest, we do have youth hubs that facilitate around helping our youth, or whether it's community around Pacific Voices as well. When it comes to who do you go to, I think in terms of resources, Auckland has a lot of resources. Where the sisters, Taputu is, I'm not too sure because I don't really know where the resources are around that area, but I think it's just normalizing the way we actually come out, that we haven't really practiced that in our community a lot. Speaking up when you're not feeling okay. It's okay to not be okay. Like, I think we haven't really done that around youth. I'm just speaking, like, giving you my view because that's how I practiced it, is coming out when you're not okay. And even being around youth is normalizing the fact that you can't just always bottle, like what you've mentioned, bottle things up, but we need to practice how we go to people that we trust and make that, you know, the norm, because our youth are so used to coming to one little area with their group of friends, and yes, that's okay, but when you need help, how do we normalize it within our Pacific community, specifically our Cook Island community, to speak and speak loud? So that's one thing that I would have to say, is there are solid resources within our community, but I think it's the fact that we're not normalizing the fact to come out. Yeah.
I agree with that, Tina. I agree that it needs to be normalized, that ongoing communication needs to happen. But if you're wanting to know, I think it was what's his name, D'Artagnan Fa'alili, who sent in the question. If you're wanting to know actual places to call, Leva, who do amazing work in the mental health and health and wellbeing sector of specifically for Pacific, have I don't actually know the number off the top of my head, I'm sorry, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure we can put it up later. But they have amazing resources. They've got counsellors that specifically cater to Pacific Island, you know, young adults or adults even, you know, they even cater for elderly as well. So they have a huge range of services for this particular stuff. And also Mapu Maya is also, I'm not sure if they've got offices outside of Auckland, but I know they're definitely here in Auckland, also have the same thing, services with counsellors, youth workers that can help with this sort of thing as well. So there's definitely help out there. You just need to be, I think, the other thing is to be engaged and actively looking and seeking that help if you really need it. I mean, I've talked a lot about counselling. It might not even be counselling. It might just be a shoulder to cry on, you know, it might just be that kind of thing. And the other stuff is use your school counsellor for students, for young people. That's what they're there for. They're paid to be there to help you be mentally well, be healthy as a student at school. So yeah, that's that. Anyone else want to add?
Well, I can just talk on behalf of the South Waikato anyway. We've got two agencies. So we've got a core Pacifica agency called SWPICS, and they're real visible in terms of everything to do with well-being and health and all of those kind of stuff for Pacifica families, you know. So with a specific focus on Pacifica families, Cook Islands, Samoan, Tongan, our Pacifica families here in the South Waikato, they will be able to point you in the right direction to get that support in terms of anything to do with health, well-being, mental health, bullying. You know, they're doing a good campaign at the moment through their Pink Shirt Day promotion. So that's South Waikato Pacific Island Community Services. All the viewers that are here in the South Waikato, Tokoro, Tiro, Putararu, head down to them. They've got a campaign around bullying, and it's not just a one-day thing. They've been going all week, and so they're, you know, they're really invested in making a change. Also, I run the YMCA, which is focused on youth. Yeah, everything to do with young people. You open the door, you knock on the door like it says on the Bible. You knock on the door, and the door will open. Ask and you will receive, and so that's what we're all about here at the YMCA. Any supports that you might need in that space, come and talk to us as well. So you've got SWPICS and the YMCA here for the South Waikato region. Chloe, who's just finished her double degree at Waikato University, she might know of some stuff up in Hamilton if you want to add on to that.
Oh, when I was studying at Waikato, they made it very known that if you needed any help, that we've got like a medical center there on campus. I can only speak from like Waikato University. Oh, and I also know that if you're in Wintec as well, their Pacific and Māori faculties, they're very hands-on. If you need like any support on trying to get anywhere, like, because you can feel like there's just a lot of pressure on you and like trying to get there. And I know Wintec is very hands-on with how they're trying to support Pacific and Māori students there. So going into your own, finding their coordinator over there, they're very helpful. And same thing for Waikato, even though Waikato is going through some bit of stuff now. Their Pacific and Māori faculties there, they're very helpful and can also point you into the right direction, even just seeking out counselling if you want to go there. Their medical centre can help you with that, or like refer you to somewhere. And probably just the best thing is just trying to find like a friend, because as the other sister said before, just finding someone who you can relate to is also can help you just to get through that through over that stage. Even sometimes people say even talking to a stranger could also help you just to find another perspective, and probably better than maybe if you're not comfortable with your family, because I understand that when that person said that family just mock you. I've experienced that personally. So yeah, sometimes talking to a friend or someone that you can relate to and that can help you more than even maybe a stranger, because like you probably won't even see that person again. So yeah, then get you another perspective, and then probably be like, oh yes, this person, probably not going to see her again, so then it's easier to talk to.
Cool.
Now that I'm back. So I can talk from like our tertiary students here in Wellington. We've got some really good support for our Māori and Pacifica students. At Victoria University, we have free counselling. You can choose who you want to talk to. We have some Pacific counsellors and also Māori counsellors. So if you feel more comfortable talking to someone that you can connect with, you can get an appointment with them. Schools with more Pacific counsellors going into our secondary schools now as well. So yeah, just having more connection with somebody that you're talking to would really help as well. So If you want to be a helper, go to university, get your qualifications, and be that person to talk to.
Cool. Thank you. I'm just on that. Sorry if I look rude. I'm looking on my phone. I'm watching the live on my phone and reading all these comments coming in. Oh, it's great. Hey, I've just got someone here, Squints. I agree, Star. Our leaders at that level need to connect with youth and community. And it's as simple as attending our community working bees, social night, our church event or sports events. It's hard to connect to someone you don't see or don't have a friendship with. Malo. And Te Ora Umaki has just put something in here. If you know that someone is struggling, how do you approach them without scaring them away? Do any of us have any strategies on what's the right way? We know there's not one way, and there's not a right way or a wrong way, but do we have any strategies of saying what you see is happening and you're here to help them? Anybody got anything?
I'll just jump into that one because I'm always on social media and plays a huge part. I've been around friends and community that, message me for like not just advice or just need to talk. And I've been one of those people as well. And I think one way is social media plays a huge part, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, even just using any app. But I feel like we need to also find a way where we can share and be open about it. Because sometimes when you're speaking with someone, if it's not relatable, they just cut you off and you're just like, okay, that's not going to help me. But I think if we practice what we kind of say on media as well as to how we can include, being inclusive with everyone is one thing that I want to try and push on media with working in the media as well, is how do we make everyone feel valued, like it's okay to have a different perspective and it's okay to kind of be different, is one of the ways that can help push that. So being inclusive is one way, using social media platforms as well, to kind of get strengthen our voices within our community around bullying. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll add on to that. That's a really good question, Te Ora, because I think we've all been there where we've had our friends going through some tough times, and you can see that they don't want to talk about it, but you know that you need to help or you need to step in some way. And it could be, I've had this before so many times where I'm normally like the pushy friend that's like, tell me now, tell me what's happening, which is probably the wrong way to go about it. But even knowing that somebody is there, just telling them quietly, look, I'm here if you need to talk, just that sentence would make a difference. But also being consistent in that communication, consistently being a good friend, checking in often. I know we all like to say it on social media, like, let's check in on each other and stuff, but do we actually do it? I don't know, that's for everyone else to, to sort of ask themselves as a personal question. Do we check in on our friends, on our colleagues as much as we would like to? And so it's just being consistent in those check-ins with the people around us and our family members.
Yeah, definitely. I would have to agree with the whole being consistent and being, as long as you put that sign out there, and I always talk about it with my own friends, I go, there's a sign on my head that says, come and talk to me. My door is always open. Knock on the door and the door will open. So, and as long as you're always like that, not pick and choose when you want to be like that. There's sometimes where you want to have your own time, and that's fair enough. There's a difference though between you want to know someone's business just to know their business, and then actually wanting to know so you can actually support them. I don't know if Tina's been in, we have these meetings for CDANs every time, because I say, talk, mental health is real, 1737. And so I always push that out. It's sort of like my sign that I'm going to tattoo on my head, 1737. The government pay these people enough money to listen to our problems. So, use the service.
Exactly. That's awesome.
Yeah. So that kind of stuff as well, and just say, hey, always just being open to all your mates and just saying, you can come talk to me. You talk to me when you want to talk to me, because it's their issue, it's not ours to sort of force out. But yeah, you can tell me and Alistair as the family, because we do the same thing. Hurry up and tell me I want to know now, so we can sort it out. So we all sort of think like that, so it can be better.
Always with love, always with love, of course.
With love. We're in a bully, not bully way. I'll head on to the next question. I'm not following the I haven't seen any more comments on this live, so I'll head on to the next one. It's, what can our Pacifica communities do better with addressing bullying? So do we address bullying? I know, but our people don't talk about anything. This is that, so I'll just throw that out there and see where we go.
I think like in our Pacific culture, we're always about the laughs and not everyone's always laughing. It's always, it might be directed at one person. So if you can have a laugh at everyone, you know, just pick on each other, but if they're not giving it back, just be aware, you know, that might be hurting their feelings as well. Yeah.
Cool.
I think that just understanding that our words can hold weight on another person, because sometimes verbal bullying can be more hurtful than actually being physically bullied. Yeah, so like speaking from my own experience with like my family and our community, we use like mocking each other as our own sense of humor, but sometimes it goes overboard. And we just, it was just a joke, just like get over it. But we don't understand that our own words can hold weight on another person, even if we are trying to make it funny.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Anybody else there?
100% agree with everything that's been said pretty much. But yeah, that humor thing is a hard one, isn't it? Because we love to mock each other. And, you know, most of the time we can take it, you know, it just goes back and forth. But yeah, the power of words, you just never know what you can do to a person, you know, when they go home and start thinking about those words and it replays in their mind and they're thinking. So yeah, 100% agree with you guys. But, you know, what is I love about our people and I love about our culture is just the love. We're very loving people and it's very genuine love, you know. It's you can tell that we are definitely so welcoming, you know, with our cultures, but we need to, I guess, do more of that. And yeah, like Tina said, be more inclusive and let that be the normal.
Definitely. Oh, this is cool. Well, I just thought I'd just add my little 5 cents in right now, but this is cool. I'm following our live back on the Facebook and everyone's going, praise the Lord. It's from Noro Rakuia, and I agree with you, Chloe. That's right. Words do hurt. We ourselves need to watch what we say to each other. Because you know us, our people, it's our way. Everything we say it with love, but we don't watch what we're saying sometimes. And so, yeah. Oh, this is just great. I'm going to go to the next part of the convo, which is important, which is, I think it's really important we focus on both sides of bullying, because in bullying, there's the bully and then there's the person that's getting bullied. And so the next question here is, what supports can we give to bullies, like people that are doing this? What can we, how can we bring them into this conversation as well? Because it's not just about people that are getting bullied. At the end of the day, if there were no bullies, people wouldn't be getting bullied. So what supports can we give to bullies? Anybody?
It usually starts at home. So like, for instance, with kids, you usually hear like, oh, we're asking why are you bullying? And then you find out when you dig deeper that they're probably getting bullied at home themselves, or they've seen other people and think it's all right, that what they're doing is fine. And then when you try and talk to parents also deny that their child is a bully. Like, and that's understandable. Like, you don't want to hear from another person that your child is bullying another person. But then you also gotta understand why that's happening, and they're either seeing it, and especially nowadays where social media and the internet and what's being shown on TV is very accessible to children. So we just gotta be mindful of what they're seeing on YouTube, Instagram, and that. they might think it's all right, but then it might not be to another person.
Yeah, 100% agree with Chloe. Yeah, it absolutely always starts at home, and it's normally that something is happening to them at home, whether it's the parents or the older brother or the older cousins or whatever it is. But I feel like especially when we punish bullies, so normally I guess at school they get detention or they get expelled, I think it's really time to sort of look at that way of teaching those bullies. I think we need to punish in a way, or not punish, but have consequences that teach them the right way rather than just punishing them. So showing them the right way, especially if they're young kids, you know, most of the time if they're young kids and bullying, they don't really know what they're doing, do they? Or they haven't had that direction to show them how to act the right way or how to respect people, respect their peers. So I think we need to look at the consequences of what happens to a bully too. A lot of work, and there's a lot of potential around there to really teach them and lead them in the right direction. And, you know, even down to rewarding them for good behavior so that they know this is the right way to treat people. So, yeah, just wanted to add that.
Cool. And you got anything, Tapati?
And my video.
Yeah, thanks, Chloe and Star. I think I'll talk from like a workplace bullying perspective. So like, I think it's a vicious cycle. So when you're in a position, like if you have a superiority, your manager or something bullying you, as Pacific people, we find it hard to talk back or defend ourselves to a leadership role. And I think, and they're usually like the bullier or the employee or the manager is usually getting stress from higher up, and they're actually unaware of what they're doing to their employee or so it's just how can you make aware of what they're doing to you as well. So they're usually getting bullied or stressed or pressure from higher up and then taking it out on you. So just coming together and sharing, being brave to share what your experience is to your manager and employer, writing it down if you can't express it to in words. I think that's what we have to kind of deal with these days as well. They're not aware about their actions, and so we have to speak up about it. And if you can't, write it down and give it to them.
Yeah, definitely in a workplace setting, I can definitely relate to that. A lot of the time, the workplace bullies don't actually realize that that's what they're doing. And then a lot of this, because we're Pacific Island people, we just go, oh, whatever, then put our head down, do our work, and sort of just try and dodge, deflect all of those conflicts in there. But it's a good suggestion there is to pull them up about it and, just say, hey, this is how I feel and this is what's happening. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't, but it's always good. It goes back to that communication, and what we talked about right at the beginning of this live. Communication is key, especially in that workplace setting. And the same with our bullies too, the schoolyard bullies and all of that kind of stuff. If like we said, if it starts in the home, well, then we need to provide some pro-social activities for them to say, hey, this is the right way we do things, and this is how we treat people. These are our values. This, all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, this is so smart. I was like, these are so smart. I don't know, where's Tina? Where's Tina gone? I think she didn't pay her internet bill, so it's cut off now. Just kidding. Just exposing you. So when you're ready, jump back on the live. I'm going to start wrapping us up soon because we've got some very busy people in our live. But our last question that I've got here, and hang on, if I'm just following on our Facebook page again. Just a quick one here from Freedom. In this day and age, where the internet is easily accessible and easy to understand, how can one deal with online trolling and online bullying?
Block, report.
I
I recently went on a I'll try not to make this story like my life story, but I recently went on a social media detox. I just literally got off, because not that there was any bullying happening, but because there was just social media platforms are too much. They get too overwhelming sometimes. You need to take a step back. But I find if there's something that you don't agree with online, somebody posting something, whether it's about you or not, literally block it out, block them, unfollow them, and just carry on. You don't need to be, with everything else that we're worrying about in this day and age, you don't need that extra pressure or that extra hassle in your life. So I find that that's very, I know that social media is hugely important, especially to young people, and you know, you don't want to miss out on anything, especially if you're keeping in touch with your family or anything like that. But step away when you have to. When it gets too much, at home, when you're at ready to go to bed, switch it off. Don't pay attention to anything that's happening online, because it's detrimental to your mental health, really, isn't it? Yeah.
I think you hit it on the head, and I've got someone saying block report. I like that one. So yeah, it is, especially, you know, this day and age. That's what we can do: block, report, and just we don't need that. You know, we don't need that. And if they don't have the decency to come say that right straight up to your face, and block and report them out of your life, it's great. So that social media break is good. You know, that's some good advice too for our young people, because so much of us get wrapped up into what's happening on Instagram, what's happening on the Facebook, and get real, you know, entrenched in all of that. And sometimes we just need to take a step back from that and just look up. I always say that to the kids when they come into us. Hey, look up, you're gonna miss the world. So look up from your phones and enjoy this beautiful world that God gave us. Hey, oh well, it's just my 5 cents anyway. We're gonna wrap up, I think. We're gonna wrap up. Anyone got any final? Oh yeah, carry on.
I had Evangeline Daniela. She's an amazing Cook Island psychologist. She's got some awesome resources online. So one of the advice that she gave our group of psychologists at Victoria University is knowing who you are and your cultural identity, knowing who you are and where you're grounded. Being a Cook Islander, it will help you against all these negative thoughts or people coming at you with these negative ideas and opinions of yourself. So knowing who you are, then you can just swipe them off, like, you know, yeah, just having a strong Cook Island identity, knowing where you're from, knowing who you are, will help you in life and to help you through these hard problems that you might come across. Yeah. So check out her resources. She's doing some amazing things in the Cooks as well.
Awesome. Who's that? Who was that again?
Evangeline Daniela.
Evangeline Daniela. Okay, all you people watching. Go on the, you know, I always tell everyone we've got a University of YouTube. Go on your University of Google and find Evangeline Daniela. Daniela, and she's doing all of that amazing work. Is that Pacifica Focus Psychology? Yeah. Great. Because you can totally relate to that as well. Because if you're fine with who you are, like it says in the Bible too, and I don't mean to be so biblical about everything, but I'm just saying, if you build your everything on a firm foundation, nothing will rock you, you know, nothing can shake you. And that's the same, you build your house on the sand, well, what happens? So if you have that connection and you're strong, like all of us here in this, we're Hati, Cook Island all the way, Pacifica all the way, you know, and that's us, no matter what space we're in, we always advocate for us, our culture, and we know who we are. So cool. Yeah, I can relate to that. Awesome. Check her out, Evangeline Daniela. Any last words here from Taputu? We'll start with Taputu, Chloe, Alistair, and then I'll wrap us up.
I think, yeah, just be brave and speak out. I think that was our theme for today. Good communication, find people that are on your side and will back you 100%, and you can do anything.
Oh, and just for the cyberbullying, there are some consequences now for those who think that they're invincible. Keyboard warriors. I know New Zealand has the Harmful Digital Communications Act 2015. So for those who, because even though we say block, report, that doesn't mean that the conversation online is still over. So if it does end up getting real serious, even in the workplace or at school, there is protection, there is a legislation there for you. And just being brave enough to take that step. And there are people who will help. Also, like how we were saying before, communication is big. Just finding that person to talk to, even if it is a stranger, a friend or family, just tell someone about it. Don't bottle it up because it's not good for your own mental health. And yeah.
Who's got, oh, Tina, look, you're in time for the last word. You got
She's
any
back. She's back, everyone.
back?
Oh my gosh.
I told everyone you didn't pay your data bill.
This is what happens when you're connected on mobile. I am back, community. Sorry, what was the last question?
It's just your last word. You got any lasting advice for our Pacifica communities
You know
around this
what?
issue?
We're here. I just have to, you probably all covered everything, but we need to have more of these talanoas, not just for Pink Shirt Day, not just for Pink Shirt Week, but we're here. We've got amazing resources within our communities, and get in contact with one of us. All of our sisters here that are connected on are here to serve, whether that's from a base of, radio, out in the community, out in public, or with your friends. Don't be afraid. And that's one thing that I always want to normalize as well to our youth, to our community, to everyone. Speak up if you're being hurt. Speak up if you're being down. Speak up if you know that it's not right, whether it's bullying or not. And we have to just make it right and normalize it every single day. Love you guys.
Stop.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, agree with absolutely what everyone said. Be brave, speak up, know that there's people out there that are willing to help you. Surround yourself with the right people. I cannot say that enough, especially for our young people. Get around the right people that are going to lift you up and really encourage you to be the best person that you can be. And if you're out and about, whether you're a school student or at your workplace, if you see something happening, call it out. If you're on the outside looking in, let's help out those people who may not be able to speak up as much as we can. Let's help them to get help as well. And just love each other, take care of each other.
I think that was beautiful. I'll give us some final words from our viewers here. It's good we've had a constant, viewers over the last 35 minutes. And so we've got May here from Whangarei that's watching. It's important for parents to be 100% behind their children. I nag mine to get off their phones 1 hour before bed to try to protect their precious brains too, but also to keep that hate talk down. Love it and love yous. We've got proud to be Pacifica and appreciate this talanoa. Shock, guys. Speak up, stand up, stop bullying, and thank you to the panelists for your beautiful, intelligent voices and advice. So proud to be a Pacifica. And just we've got some messages here from CDANS. All the information that we shared about the Harmful Digital Act and Communications Act and Evangeline and all of that work that she's doing down in Wellington, it's going to be shared by the CDANS page. So follow the CDANS, like, share this post. Thank you everyone for tuning in. What's my last word? 1737. Don't be afraid to ask for the help. 1737. If you forget everything else from today, 1737, and they can point you in some right directions. Use the resources and all the government put together for all of us, okay? Especially our people. When the number one, we don't ask for the help. Ask for the help. We need it. So with that, look at all the beautiful girls of Jerusalem here that's joined us for our talanoa and our Pink Shirt Day. Tomorrow, don't forget, because look, like me and Tina, we've got to wear our pink t-shirt today. Tomorrow, don't forget your pink wear to support the Pink Shirt Day anti-bullying initiative. So wherever you are in the world, stay safe. God bless. Kia ora ana, e kia manui.